If you ever truly knew what happened between me and Eli, you might never look at me the same way again. It's a deeply emotional and quietly romantic story, so please stay with me until the end, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel. I promise, this isn't something you want to miss. My name is Lena. I grew up in a peaceful little lakeside town in Northern California, the kind of place where pine trees line every street and neighbors wave as they pass. Life moved gently there. My childhood was full of warm evenings, home-cooked meals, and the soft laughter of my mother filling the house. My father wasn't a man of many words, but when he loved, it was steady and unquestionable. For a long time, I believed things would always stay that way, safe, gentle, untouched. But life rarely keeps its promises. I was 17 when everything broke. My mom became sick, and not slowly. It was like the world turned dark overnight. A few dizzy spells became hospital stays, and soon after that, the house was too quiet. Just like that, she was gone. I didn't scream, I didn't cry. I just stopped feeling. Her absence didn't echo. It sank into the walls and swallowed the light. My father changed, too. The man who once lifted me high above his shoulders now walked like he carried a mountain on his back. He moved through our home silently, ate his meals without a word, and cried softly behind closed doors when he thought I was asleep. But we never talked about it. We just drifted, silently side by side. When I turned 19, he remarried. Sandra, his new wife, was gentle and polite. She never tried to replace my mother and always treated me with care. I didn't dislike her. I understood that my father needed someone to keep the cold out. He had a right to find warmth again. But it was still difficult. Sandra had a son named Eli. He was 18, a year younger than me. He had eyes that didn't match his age and a quietness that felt familiar. At first, we lived around each other like shadows, exchanging nods in the hallway and speaking only in passing. Dinner was polite. Then we disappeared into our rooms. But silence has a way of softening over time. It began with little things. He held doors open. I offered him tea when I made some. Then one stormy night, when the lights went out, we sat in the hallway surrounded by candles. We talked. About nothing. About music, memories, grief. That night he told me how he lost his dad when he was 12. For the first time, I saw through the quiet. And something between us shifted. It wasn't love, not yet. Maybe it was recognition. A silent understanding. Sometimes broken people just find each other, even when they shouldn't. From there, our conversations grew. Quiet late-night chats. Soft laughter over toast. We never defined it, but the closeness was real. And it deepened, slowly, day by day. Then our parents decided to take a 5-day retreat for their anniversary. Just the two of them in the mountains. Eli and I were left alone. The first evening we watched a movie, something sweet and romantic. We sat apart on the couch, shared popcorn, laughed at the cheesy lines. Then came the kiss scene, drawn out, emotional. I don't know why, but something about that moment made everything else seem still. When I turned to look at Eli, he was already watching me. He didn't speak. Neither did I. He leaned in, slow and unsure, and kissed me. It wasn't wild or desperate. Just soft. Questioning. And maybe that's why I didn't stop him. That night changed everything. We didn't talk about it afterward. No promises. No plans. We just existed in a kind of hush. We cooked breakfast together, sat close on the porch swing, whispered jokes that only we understood. We fell asleep on the couch with the television still murmuring. For 5 days, it felt like we were living in a small dream, a bubble that couldn't hold. When our parents came back, we returned to silence. But the silence wasn't empty anymore. It was heavy, as if it was hiding something delicate. In the months that followed, we stole moments. Hands brushing at the sink. Quiet walks at dusk. Glances that held more than they should. It couldn't last. I knew that. I didn't want more. I just didn't want it to disappear yet. I took precautions. Not because I was hoping for more, but because I was scared of what might happen if I didn't. Then life stepped in, as it does. Eli got accepted to a university far away. 2 states. When he told me, I smiled. I told him I was proud. But inside, something cracked. The night before he left, we sat on the rooftop. It was clear, and the stars were everywhere. He took my hand and said quietly, "Maybe we were never meant to last. But that doesn't mean it wasn't real." I didn't cry. I didn't hold him back. I just nodded. By morning, he was gone. No long goodbye. No promises. And I moved forward. I got a job as a front desk assistant at a local architecture firm. It gave me a reason to get out of bed, to dress up, to smile. Slowly, the pieces of me found their way back into something whole again. That's when Ryan came into my world. He ran a small bookstore near my office. He was always smiling, always had a book in his hand. He didn't push or pry. We started with coffee, then slow walks, dinner that wasn't rushed. With Ryan, love wasn't confusing. It wasn't tangled in guilt. It was peaceful, simple. We married a year later, built a house with soft walls and a blooming garden, had a daughter who became my joy. My world became small again, but in the best way. When I lie next to Ryan at night, listening to our daughter's soft breathing from the next room, I sometimes think of Eli. Not in pain, not with regret, just softly. His face has blurred with time, his voice a whisper now. I never told Ryan, not because I'm keeping something from him. What Eli and I shared ended a long time ago. But I wonder, what would be the point? Would it make him understand me better? Or would it leave a mark that doesn't belong to him? Some love stories don't need to last to matter. Some don't need to be shared to be real. And sometimes, I wonder if Eli remembers too. Maybe he tells his story to no one. Maybe just to himself. I love the life I have. I love Ryan. I love our daughter. But there's a small part of me, deep inside, that still whispers his name like a quiet prayer. Fleeting. Faded. But never erased. So, I ask you, if you were me, would you say it out loud? Or would you let it rest where it's been for years in memory and nowhere else? Tell me in the comments. Because maybe, just maybe, your words will help me decide.